What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your second stimulus check update and news update. I got a lot of information for you guys. We're going to jump right into it. All I'm going to ask is make sure you like this video down below. It really helps out our channel. And subscribe down below if you haven't yet. This way you won't miss out on new updates as it comes out. My wife and I do all the research for you every single day, and we bring it to you in a quick, concise video. Okay, first up, the U.S. House of Representatives is voting on a resolution to affirm a peaceful transition of power if President Donald Trump is to lose the election. If he were to lose the election, he says that he will not go peacefully into the night. He will not go peacefully and may even challenge it all the way up to the Supreme Court. The House is slated to vote next week on a resolution that would reaffirm the chamber's support for a peaceful transfer of power after President Trump this week declined to comment if he loses the election. The vote will come after the Senate also passed a similar resolution on Thursday by unanimous consent to affirm a hallmark of American democracy. The two-page resolution states that the House reaffirms its commitment to the orderly and peaceful transfer of power called in the Constitution of the United States if President Trump were to lose the re-election, and intends that there should be no disruptions by the president or any person in power to overturn the will of the people of the United States. President Trump on Wednesday said that he would have to see what happens when asked if he would commit to a peaceful transfer of power and try to sow doubt without evidence about the reliability of voting by mail. The president says, get rid of the ballots and you'll have a very peaceful, there won't be a transfer, frankly. There will be a continuation. The ballots are out of control, and you know who knows it better than anyone else? The Democrats know it better than anyone else. President Trump has repeatedly declined to say if he will accept the election results if he loses the election to Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden. The U.S. House of Representatives is going to be very busy this week. Along with what we just mentioned, they're also set to unveil the next stimulus package this week from the Democrats and from the House side. This package is supposed to have $1,200 stimulus checks and also checks for all dependents. We're also supposed to see an unemployment extension all the way to the end of the year or January. And we're also supposed to have money in there for schools, money in there for small businesses through the Paycheck Protection Program, and money for airlines, among several other things. The Senate is also set to vote on a bill to prevent a government shutdown. The government will shut down in 4 days if they cannot pass this bill within the next few days. We will see the next government shutdown on October 1st, right before the elections. The Senate is set to vote on this bill to prevent a government shutdown on either Tuesday or Wednesday, which is the day before the government will shut down. So literally like Congress, waiting till the very last minute. And if they don't pass it, we will see another government shutdown. And if that happens, basically every single thing halts, including stimulus check negotiations, stimulus package voting, all that unemployment extension voting, all that stuff will have to halt. And the government shutdown will take number one priority and the only priority at that point if that were to happen. And we're literally going to go down to the very last minute on the voting on that. And if they don't pass it, well, that's not going to be very good for millions of Americans who work for the federal government and many branches that will just literally have to shut down because they're not considered essential services and there will be no funding. President Donald Trump is set to announce his next Supreme Court nominee after the passing of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and his nomination will be Amy Coney Barrett for the Supreme Court. This will be the president's third Supreme Court justice that he has gotten to appoint during his first term, obviously his first term, and that's 3 justices that stay on the Supreme Court for life. They literally stay there until they die. So that is a big advantage that President Donald Trump has. And he recently stated that if he loses the election, that he could challenge it all the way up to the Supreme Court, of which now are 6 out of 9 judges are Republicans, and 3 of them he has personally appointed himself. The Senate has already scheduled confirmation hearings on the president's new nominee to start on October 12th as they try to push this forward and have this finalized before the elections on November 3rd. The Senate Judiciary Committee will start a 4-day hearing on President Trump's Supreme Court nominee on October 12th. The schedule will pave the way for Republicans to hold a vote on the nominee before the November 3rd election, setting a record for the closest date to a presidential election that a Supreme Court pick has been confirmed. Chairman Lindsey Graham says we've got the votes to confirm Justice Ginsburg's replacement before the election. We're going to move forward in the committee. We're going to report the nomination out of the committee to the floor of the United States Senate so we can vote before the election. The hearings will give the Democrats their one public opportunity to grill her on a host of issues such as health care and a looming Supreme Court case that could decide the fate of the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. I personally don't think the Democrats are pretty much able to do anything to prevent this or to stop this, but it will be interesting to see because a lot of Democrats, including Nancy Pelosi, have said that they're going to try to do everything possible to delay this till after the elections or until the next president, which they hope is Joe Biden, is elected. I don't see any way how they're going to be able to delay it, but it will be interesting to see if whatever they try to do. We're also seeing a new public outcry over the Problem Solvers Caucus bill that included not one but 2 stimulus checks, one now if they were to pass that bill, and another one in March of 2021, and includes not one but 2 unemployment extensions, also one now and one again in 2021 if the pandemic were to continue. We're seeing a lot of push and public outcry from people saying that that is the bill they need to pass, that there's already support on it from both sides, the Republicans and the Democrats, and that's the bill they need to move forward with. It will be interesting to see if the Democrats use part or anything from that bill. I personally think the unemployment extension and the stimulus checks was really great news because they had 2 of them in there, and it basically set up another provision that if in 2021, basically about 6 months from now, that we will receive another round of checks and unemployment extension, which is kind of what should happen if we're still dealing with this pandemic 6 more months from now and people need more help because of what's going on. I mean, this pandemic is still causing over 800,000 people to lose their jobs every single week. These are brand new people that have filed for unemployment that are still losing their jobs due to this pandemic. Let me know what you think. Do you think the Problem Solvers Caucus bill is the best bill and has the highest chance to get approved by both the Republicans and the Democrats? Remember, if one side, the Republicans or the Democrats, take up that bill and basically, take it under their arm and say, this is the bill we want, they only need a few votes from the other side to pass it. For example, in the House of Representatives, the Republicans are only behind by about 20 votes, so they would only need about 20 votes from the Democrats to pass it, and there was 25 Republicans and 25 Democrats that supported that bill and wrote that bill from the Problem Solvers Caucus. The Problem Solvers Caucus is a group of 50 people from the U.S. House of Representatives, which 25 are Republicans and 25 are Democrats. So it already has support from both sides, and that was literally the best bill that we've seen from either the Democrats or the Republicans over the last several months because it literally just had everything in it, everything you could ask for. I mean, except for monthly checks, which really isn't a possibility at this point. The only hope we have of monthly checks is from Kamala Harris, who has proposed that $2,000 per month. She is now the vice presidential nominee. So if her and Joe Biden were to win the presidency, then that could become a much more forefront issue and offer to see if the pandemic is still going forward, that we might get those monthly checks of $2,000 per month. But that's really the only way that we could see that at this point. So don't forget to hit the thumbs up button for us down below and subscribe if you haven't yet. I will keep you updated as soon as new information comes out. We have new videos coming out at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure to tune in at those times. You can click the bell icon down below next to the subscribe button if you want to be notified when we go live with new videos. And you can click on this video to watch my newest stimulus check videos next. And this video teaches you how to start a business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have students that have replaced their entire 9-to-5 income by selling products on Amazon, and I teach them how to do that. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, and I will see you in the next video.